Abu Dhabi became a strategic geography. We believe that we have something between hands that can become a legacy in a worldwide scale. But I believe that you will be soon seeing TUGAs everywhere. I've been president of a Chamber of Commerce of Portugal in West Africa. Then I became one of the special members of Diaspora of Portugal. It's a council of diaspora. And since 2018, I started working with ambassadors in different geographies. So I have the perfume of internationalization. And I was appointed in June as executive board member of the International Network of Chambers of Commerce of Portugal around the world.
Tudo bem.
So corporate ecosystem is my background.
It's very strong, yes.
Internationalization is my background. I'm a co-founder of Diaspora Prime Portugal Consortium. It's a lobby structure. When I give some conferences, when people ask me what I do, I'm a lobbyist. That's what I do. And that's what I like to do. And in this process, I met companies like TUGA. TUGA came to me as one of the companies to be watched. And we have nominated the founder of TUGA, one of our ambassadors of Diaspora Prime Portugal. But when I meet the gentleman, when I understood the project, I said, we need to grab this and make it happen in a different way. So I get passionate by the concept, and everything happened very fast. So I was invited to get in the company. So from one approach of having the VP and the founder as one of our corporate ambassadors, I became head of international and corporate business, and from there, one of the shareholders. And today, it's my daily job, if you want.
You're doing a very good job. Thank you so much. This is an unusual introduction. I'm here today with Mr. Gonçalo Terenas, the head of international and corporate business. So I let him actually start the podcast because he's a very special guest. I told you yesterday from all the presentation I listened yesterday during this investor summit in Kuala Lumpur. You are the presentation I preferred because you're coming up with a very amazing product for the world, for sustainability, which is a free-wheeled electric vehicle under the company of TUGA Innovation. Can you share with us all the excitement around this new brand, this new initiative? You were telling me that the startup was funded in Canada in 2021. You joined the group as a shareholder last year in September 2023. So I can see you're very passionate about this. You're also a former politician, an expert in economic diplomacy. So it's a true honor to have you on our podcast, first of all. Muito obrigado. We want to hear, of course, more about this exciting product for the world, and especially for smart cities and cities who wants to be in the game of sustainability.
Well, Julien, thank you very much for your challenge and invitation. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Well, as you have seen yesterday, in fact, TUGA Innovations Inc. Addresses to an issue that contemporary cities face. Time and sustainable mobility are the two issues that TUGA faces, and we believe that we have created a very interesting concept. We don't call it a product because we are a services provider. As you said, TUGA was born in 2021 in Canada, but even before that phase, the concept was developed in Michigan, in USA. And from there, the IPO happens in the end of 2021. And we became listed in Canada and Frankfurt, in Germany also. But still, we are a small group of very accurate and intelligent fellows that develop one idea of the founder, the architect César Barbosa, a Portuguese awarded architect, and someone with a vision that it is difficult to stay indifferent. And yes, as you said, I get passionate by the concept when I met César. And since September 2023, we try to push it further. And the experience, it's something that we are living in a daily basis. Very interesting, like a magnet. Wherever we go, as you have seen yesterday, the audience was very surprised and impressed. We believe that we have something between hands that can become a legacy in a worldwide scale. But we still are in the, as you said, in looking for funding and good people with smart money. We have been approached with several investors that doesn't fit in our mindset, in our mind state, because this is not the product. One said that this is the rickshaw of the future, and we really believe that what we are developing can address a solution for urban sustainable mobility.
Fantastic.
And that's where we are.
Can you take us through the journey, especially moving forward? Because there are a lot of milestones you want to achieve in the upcoming years, leading to the manufacturing of this vehicle. And it's quite exciting. Next year, you're talking about this event in Osaka. So for us to understand where you're going to take the company from where it is today and what it's going to become in the next few years to allow potential smart investors to come in at the right time?
Well, we really hope that 2024 and 2025 will be our special momentum. Where we are today, and it's important to understand, after the IPO and with the war, our timeline was a little bit changed. So, but we didn't regret, because that allowed us during one full year to optimize and to develop a lot of features that today offers to the market a top-notch product on urban mobility, digital, metaverse, AR, VR, you name it. So the team that have been together since 2021 have developed a product with a lot of features, and the result that we have today was so interesting that, for instance, a giant like Porsche Consulting have knocked our door, and since the end of 2023, it's our strategic partner. And for us, it's flattering, but it's also a huge opportunity to work together with 75 years of experience on the wheels. So with that, we have been also invited to be present, like yesterday in the summit, in DriftX, an eVTOL air, land, and sea exhibition in Abu Dhabi in March of 2024, where the Falcon economy get in touch with our reality, with our product, and it was impressive. Since then until today, we have been having several exchanges, several meetings, several conversations. They came to our facilities in Cascais in Portugal. And nowadays, we believe that Middle East will be our pilot phase. Several approaches have been done, and we are developing together, side by side, with that destination, with that geography, a lot of new things that will be announced very soon. So if we put these two big, how should I say, for us is two big momentums. Porsche became a strategic partner, and Abu Dhabi became a strategic geography. So with this dynamic duo, we believe that into 2025, we became a reality with our prototype phasing and showing to the world, normally in Osaka 2025, our first V1 prototype. And I am personally convinced that it will be a game changer for the next years to come.
What's the feedback of the governments you approached so far when it comes to this initiative? Because talking about Abu Dhabi and Dubai, Dubai hosted COP28
Yes.
And COP29 just happened in Azerbaijan. Sustainability is huge. It's a really global agenda. And of course, TUGA offers a lot of opportunities for any countries, cities to be more green and have been the green economy. What's the feedback so far? Like, is it something they're really taking seriously? Like they want to invest in, and are you happy with the feedback you get so far?
Well, I believe cities don't have any option.
Mm.
So this is not an optional issue. Mobility, sustainability, environmental issues are in the daily basis problem. So we just address a solution for the problem that all over the world we can see it. Just 2 weeks ago in India and Pakistan, everybody saw the pollution problem. Cities are facing mobility problems, parking, time lost, pollution. The impact that these arguments have on the national economies are huge. So we came to solve a problem. Our founder have the the expression that TUGA is the vaccine to cities, and indeed we arrived to solve a lot of problems with one solution. And all the feature that TUGA includes have in mind those points that you have just mentioned. And of course, cities and regulatory must fit with what we are developing. And this is not only a product or a service that arrives alone. We must work together with regulatory systems, with cities. Even today, I had a meeting with the Minister of Digital of Malaysia. So imagine, they have created a ministry for digital. So in every single cities where I'm moving around the world, this is a common problem. So no matter where, the mobility and the sustainability are two main issues to be watched, and our solution sooner or later will be included and integrated to solve all those problems.
Like naturally, it's just a fact. Yeah,
it's a fact, and it's a question of time.
Yeah.
The advantages that TUGA gives to cities is that we have been thinking on this a long time ago. And as our founder is someone that is an expert on urban planning, for him it was natural to develop a service, a solution that faces the urban problems. So when we sit with governments, what they say to us is, we need you. Yes. The question is how, when, under what kind of terms and conditions.
Yes.
But I believe that you will be soon seeing TUGAs everywhere.
For sure. Now, of course, TUGA is at its beginning, but it's looking very promising, not only in mobility, but even in healthcare. You were mentioning that your vehicle can transport organs and things like that. So it means that you can actually impact positively multiple sectors. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Absolutely. So first, TUGA have 19 patents in the United States and pending patents, and we're still working on new features to be included on our IP, and in different sectors, as you said, digital, transportation. We said once that thinking about TUGA as our digital twin, it's something that it's true. And the different aspects that you have mentioned were in the mind of the founder. TUGA Deliver is one of the angles that we will serve the society, transport of goods. imagine in Middle East, how the delivery can be made in healthy conditions during the hot season. It's impossible.
Yes.
And this is indeed one of the sectors that was developed, and we have patents on that. So being an electric vehicle, of course, our footprint on cities are very low. And this for us is important to be an element of the city that goes along with the sustainable approach. And for us, it's important to have this in our main focus. And probably that's why all the governments, all the interests that come around us see that we offer something that is reliable, and it was driven by the sustainability approach. So we can say that we fit with what is happening today, but also what it's need to solve in the near future.
Fantastic. I live in a country which is arguably one of the best manufacturer of drones, Turkey. You're also coming up with drones. Can you share with us a bit about that? Or
first of all, it is important to understand we are a company of services and mobility services solutions, land and air. Knowing that the drone is a third party that will go along with us. At this maturity phase, we are focused on the vehicle and the dedicated lanes that cities will create for these kind of vehicles. And the drone will come along, but with a third party, because regulatory licensing, it will be probably local authorities or licensing companies that will take care of the air. For the moment, we are focused on land and to address the problem of urban mobility with all the standards and the regulatory that we'll need to fit. We don't manufacture. As I said, we provide services.
Yes.
And we are a light asset company. So we will not get inside OEMs. And let's look at what is happening in the economies. The OEMs of several European countries are facing great difficulties. So we don't want to go inside that fight. We will contract outsourcing the manufacturing of the vehicle. And in the other side, services providers will be also a third party. What TUGA will kept its R&D, marketing, brand, quality control on that spectrum. We will not give to any else other the control of the quality, the software, and everything that comes along with our platform. Because, as I said, we are a tech company providing services for mobility needs.
Fantastic. I want to shift a bit the interview towards Africa, because you mentioned to me that you've been living there for quite a while. It's quite interesting to know about that. West Africa, what's your experience there, and why you decided to move there? If it's not too personal to ask you, to understand a bit who you are as a person and why you were specifically attracted to that particular region in the world.
Well, my background always have passed through internationalization. So I'm used to live in diaspora ecosystems. I've traveled all over the world, from Africa to Asia to America, South America. So I believe getting out of the island allows me to understand better the island. So those who don't ever get out of their comfort zone don't have the same, how should I say, capacity of analysis. And that's something that I believe that helped me a lot on the approach of new markets. Africa, first it's difficult, but once you get inside Africa, you cannot get out of Africa. It's a perfume. It's a
the people.
It's a sensation. Yeah. It's only those who have lived in Africa understand what I'm saying. But Africa it's impossible to stay out of it because it's the biggest continent in terms of population. The biggest mega cities will be in Africa. So we also
TUGA will be there for sure.
I believe that it's
it's a matter of time.
Yes. Yeah. But Africa faces a lot of complexities. Living in Africa give me, when I used to speak in some conference, I always said my two first words on my dictionary doesn't start by A. First is context. Second, adaptive behaviors.
Adaptivity.
And when normally, and I see that with my fellows from Europe when arrived to Africa, they want to impose sometimes their own metrics and ideas, and it is impossible. So what I have learned is acknowledge the room, acknowledge the context, and from there we adapt. We need to be aware of the local culture,
sensitivities,
because it's completely different.
Yeah.
And we will never, in my opinion, be able to implement our metrics from Occident in different countries. So I learned to live the best way possible with those cultures. And well, you know, Portuguese fellows have centuries of experience when it comes to internationalization.
Yeah.
When we started discover the world,
you're great sellers.
We mingle.
Yeah.
And that's our big difference. Probably a reason why in economic diplomacy you find Portuguese people in the highest places and the highest organizations in the world.
Now, of course, I can't do a podcast without mentioning about the most famous man almost on the planet, who is also Portuguese, Cristiano Ronaldo, because I just found out he started his podcast 2 months ago.
Yeah.
You're from Lisboa. I told you before the interview, it's my top 3 city. I will put Istanbul, Sydney, and Lisboa. And I really enjoy there every time when I used to live in Madrid. How does someone like Cristiano Ronaldo, do you feel that his aura and what he did for the country help you? Because he really put Portugal on the map, I think, from my perspective. But I want to hear it from a Portuguese because I didn't have the chance to mention about that. How does his brand help the Portuguese brand as a whole, even as a businessman? Because he's loved by, I would say, half of the population.
It's true. It's a force of nature. He's a great professional. From what everybody can see, we have the chance that he's a Portuguese citizen. It is impossible to think different way. I've been travel all over the world. We always see a kid with a t-shirt of Ronaldo. When I present myself and I say that I'm Portuguese, even if it is in the end of the world, the first mention that the one faces to me is, oh, it's the country of Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And they put the finger like this. So it's an ambassador, to be honest. And being also in different geographies and having always the same spirit of winner and doer, naturally brings Portugal higher and works like a real ambassador. So for us, it's a pride and it's flattering that we have someone at this high level making sport. And nowadays, more than a footballer, as you mentioned.
He's a global icon. And
it is
something I was pondering before this interview with you is that I was looking at what he's doing, and he's actually, in my view, and he's a great entrepreneur. Not only like a lot of things that he does, like even the fact that he went to Saudi Arabia is also a pioneer, because now all the biggest players are moving there. And, we know Saudi Arabia as a big brand, coming forward with participation in the World Cup. They want to host the World Cup in 2034, and they're using, of course, the global brand of Cristiano Ronaldo to achieve that. How would you rate him as a businessman? In terms of entrepreneurship mindset?
I think he have proved one thing. No matter where you are, if you work hard, if you are competent, use skills, passion, no matter where you are doing what you do, you will be successful.
Make it to the top.
It's true that in the beginning, when he decided to go to Middle East, a lot of criticism happened and came up. But time always takes care of everything. And what time shows is that being competent, work hard, still being passionate to what he does, make him a successful case no matter where. So, and of course, I always, when people ask me, how did you achieve this or that? We don't go up alone. So I believe that he have an entourage of
good advisors,
competent people, and good advisors that allow him to scale up and go further in an intelligent, consistent way. So an African says that you can go fast alone, but you can go further together. And that's what I think he have been doing during his period, and having family around. Because at the end of the day, what you have in life,
the people near you,
money cannot buy.
Correct.
It's those that you have side by side with you. And in my personal case, family is everything.
So let's finish on that, because I usually start the interview with personal thing, but because your company is so important, upcoming, and very promising, we started with your business. But you were telling me something that struck me. You said, I have a wife, she's not behind me, she's besides me. And you insisted on that. How important is for you to have a partner in life that is actually helping you to have such a career? And for the viewers who are watching, in the process of selecting your partner, what was the things that you looked at?
Well, as I was giving the example of Ronaldo and the entourage, in my personal life, family is my common driver. It's why I'm go every single day, hardworking, because at the end of the day, when I came back home, I have a home, and having a strong, reliable, trust wife is the most important thing. Without her, her name is Susanna. Without her, I couldn't.
Hi, Susan.
I couldn't achieve what I have just achieved, and I'm grateful that she has the patience, the courage, the strength to be side by side with me and my kids. So this is what makes me go further, because at the end of the day, as I tell you, it's not all about money. It's all about people.
Recently, the former French president, President Sarkozy, participated to a podcast, one of the biggest in France, and he was talking about his children. And he said, there's three things that I want them to do, is reading, sports, and being kind. What about you? When you're the things that you want to share to your children, what are the things that matter the most for you? Is it to speak many languages, to be able to travel? What define your parenting style?
In terms of family, or
in terms of family for your children. What are you looking at in terms of education that you really want them to? Is non-negotiable for you as a father?
Solidarity inside the family, being there, and being always reasonable to the others. And however, let me pinpoint this. Society are facing a huge complexity. and youth are crossing a lot of challenges. Nowadays, media makes life much more difficult for young people because every single day we don't know what is being said, if it is true, if we can trust. And television is a dinosaur. Nowadays, kids are all day
on the phone, iPad,
and that's very, very complex.
Yes.
But what I always said in my house, is that we need to stay together, no matter what.
Solidarity.
Be able to distinguish the good and the evil. What can make us a better person or a worse person. But family is like a block. If you don't take care of this block, at the end of the day, again, you will have more difficulties than if you stay together and always rely in those who take care of you. Fantastic. That's how we face our life. And with experience in business, nowadays I try to do the same. So I always prefer to be with talent people that don't look for money.
So loyalty, solidarity.
Yes.
So the values you have in the family, you want to transpose it in because it's kind of what you want is to have the foundation right. Correct?
Yeah, if you have a good foundation, even
you
if
can achieve anything.
If you have a windy season, after you cross over that and you keep going, and the strength is based on that, the same pillars of the family. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Gonçalo Terenas, Head of International and Corporate Business of TUGA Innovation, a very upcoming, exciting company from Canada, but with some very strong Portuguese flavor. So looking forward to that. Thank you so much.